When people think about Manhunt, they think about senseless violence, horrifically murdering people with plastic bags, and how scary it is to creep around in a dark alleyway trying not to be seen while listening to the creepiest soundtrack ever. You wanna know what I think when I think about Manhunt? I think the game's pretty fun. All jokes aside, this game is actually really good. I picked it up recently and have been having a lot of fun playing through the eerie levels with the horrible feeling of not knowing what's lurking around the corner. Yeah, the game's pretty spooky, which is also a plus for me. I really like the idea of atmospheric horror inside video games that aren't actually considered horror games. Actually, I think I'll probably do a video dedicated to that topic soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's get into my favorite part of all these videos, the breakdown. The gameplay in this game is like your average stealth game. You can make noise to lure people, and there are dark areas that you can go into to become less visible. But there is a pretty cool mechanic that made me like the game a little more, and that's the brutality meter thing. Basically, if you've never played Manhunt before, when you sneak up behind someone to brutally murder them, you have to hold down the attack button and the marker on the person you're going to kill will change colors, going from gray to yellow to red. Each color will have their own killing animations, and depending on what weapon you have, there are different animations you can get. I don't know, it's just a cool mechanic that made the game unique. Oh, and I should probably mention that the people you're killing are all really bad people, like pedophiles, white supremacists, and other murderers. That's kind of an important detail because technically we're just ridding the world of bad people. I would say that this game is good for kids because it teaches you that if you become a pedophile, racist, or murderer, you'll get your head slowly sawed off with a piano wire. Although I said this game's stealth combat was good, and I still agree with that, I think that most people can agree with me that this game's shooting and hand-to-hand combat sucks ass. The game punishes players that rush in and don't take advantage of stealth mechanics by letting the NPCs kick your shit in when they see you. But most of the time, the game doesn't even give you the choice to sneak, and they just throw enemies at you to expect you to become Bruce Lee. And when you're constantly dying with pretty spaced out save points, the game can become a little more than frustrating to play through. Okay, that's the end of that segment. The atmosphere in this game is really cool. I don't want to talk about this a lot, even though it's probably my favorite thing about this game. I just don't want to use all my ideas for that future atmospheric horror video. But here's what I will say. Manhunt reminds me a lot of the original Max Payne. They both take place in an abandoned and desolate city, lots of meth heads to kill, the whole shebang. The feeling of a cold, empty city with this eerie ambient soundtrack in the background just sends shivers up your spine. Speaking of ambience, let's talk about this game's soundtrack. This game's soundtrack makes me feel disgusted, but not in a bad way. The entire soundtrack consists of long, deep, and distant synthwave notes, and it makes you totally feel like, yeah, I could totally go murder some people right now. It actually makes me feel like I'm playing a game that I shouldn't be playing, and to be honest, I probably shouldn't be playing the game considering it's banned in multiple countries. I definitely think that Rockstar could have done a better job with this game's soundtrack, maybe using different instruments to elicit more fear into the player and make the music more memorable. The only level to have a track that was somewhat recognizable was Fueled by Hate, because it had so much more distinct rhythm to it than every other level. But I also think that this game's ambient soundtrack serves its purpose and reinforces the fact that this is a kill or be killed kind of game and that you're on your own. I know that this is a weird topic, but this game has a really cool way of rewarding the player for playing the game multiple times. A lot of people don't really talk about this game's unlockable cheat codes. Basically, for every 2 levels, you can unlock a cheat code if you complete the mission with 3 stars. Most of these cheat codes are really cool, like infinite ammo, a creepy rabbit suit, a creepy monkey suit, one punch mode, god mode, and many more. It just adds more reasons to play the game multiple times. Another really cool but much harder to get secret is unlocking a secret set of minigames. that you can unlock by getting 5 stars on certain levels. But getting 5 stars requires playing the game on hardcore mode. Although completing these requirements is really difficult, it just makes it all the more rewarding. I just think it's really cool that they lock things behind hard work. This game is definitely a must-buy for PS2 owners that like games like Condemned Criminal Origins, or you're just an overall fan of stealth and horror games. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comments and drop a like on this video. And if you like these types of videos and want to see more, be sure to subscribe because there's many more on the way.